Hello, darlings, and the very warmest of welcomes to Wednesday Night Live. And what a pleasure it is to be back with you again. I'm genuinely so excited and so looking forward to this next hour as together between us we wave away Wednesday and we welcome in Thursday. Another day. Oh, God, well, if my shorty was here, he would say it was another day closer to death. But I'm going to say that we're another day closer to the beginning of spring, March the 1st, St. David's Day. And that's when this year is really going to kick off for me and hopefully everybody else. Although, as I said in today's video, tomorrow is going to be the day when things kick off because when I went to work tonight, it was 3 degrees. When I got into my car to come home tonight, it was 8 degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be double figures. Not sure about where you are, but certainly here. Now it's going to be wet. It is going to be wet, but it's going to be warmer. And that means that I'm going to be more inclined to get out the cottage and actually do some things because there are so many things on my to do list. And over the last few weeks of end of winter blues, it's been cold, it's been damp, it's been foggy, it's been bloody miserable. Haven't done anything. Um, Apart from Mondays and Tuesdays, which have kept me sane, quite frankly. But anyway, we can get into that in the bones of it all. I did forget to set up the live in advance tonight, so I apologise that you only got a very late and short notice notification. But over the space of the next hour, we've got all the normal stuff. We've got Hedgehog of Truth together with his companion. We've got a box that's going to get a right old pounding. We've got a brand new candle, specially lit for the occasion and put in slightly the wrong place, but that's better. And of course, we've got a community portable electric telephone for your voice notes, darlings, and I hope we get some. So, right. Gosh, you're busy in the comments. That's jolly good indeed. I'm going to have a goodly slurp of my wine, darlings, because, well, I mean, it's what I do at this time of night, isn't it? Or it is deserved tonight. It is actually deserved. And then I'm going to absolutely throw myself headfirst into your comments, which are, and I make no secret of this, your comments are very much the meat and potatoes of this Knickerbocker glory that we are all jointly consuming as a slightly sinful approaching midnight treat. So, on that note, cheers, my lovely friends. Your very good health, bottoms up yours, and above all, and I mean this with kindness and sincerity, get stuffed. Mm. It's a lovely moment. It really is. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Now then, first cab off the rank tonight was Matron. Lovely Matron who said evening all. And she was followed in close succession by the wonderful Jimmy Quinn, the lovely M11 of the YouTube channel, Emma Lemon, uh, Peter P, the Honourable Peter P, the lovely Diane Sturdy, good evening, headmistress, kind of stand up. Oh, excuse me. The fabulous Shelley Denise. Hello, my lovely. The wonderful Richard Paulie Galtieri. Good evening, Boaty and everyone. Hope you've all had a good day. Andrew Buttigieg. Lovely Andrew Buttigieg. Ivor Spotty Butty, of course. Good evening to you. It was a late notification. Stu, good evening, Stu. Apologies for that. Oh, there are hellos flying around all over the place. This is marvellous. I was off to bed, says Stu. Pesky live streams, I know. The trick is to get to bed before it even thinks about starting. Tonic 110 is with us and greets everybody by name. Lovely to see you, Tonic. Hope things are continuing to be okay. The news is so depressing, says Stu. Do you know what? I haven't watched the. Well, I mean, I never watch the news. I don't have a television, but I haven't listened to the news on the radio for couple of weeks now, and that's really unlike me because I'm a very political animal and I'm very much around current affairs, and I've just not been in that place. I've been kind of living in my own little world, and it's kind of been what rather nice, really. uh, Trump has the IQ of a root vegetable, says Steve. Well, what does that say for the rest of us? I mean, he's the most powerful man in the world. He's incredibly rich. Um, no doubt he gets lots of sex. Um, and so, if he's got the IQ of a root vegetable and has managed all of that, what does that say about me, who is not the most powerful man in the world, sitting on his own in his lonely, damp old cottage in the arse end of nowhere? You know? I don't think he's got the IQ of a root vegetable. You don't get to where he is without having some kind of smarts. He looks fucked, Boat, says Skick. Who does? Who does? Da, da. Alex is here. Alex of the YouTube channel Alex's Assets, and I would recommend that YouTube channel highly. Track it down, find it. Sign up, subscribe, watch a video, hit the like button. I haven't done any of those things yet, but I haven't had chance. They're on my list to do. But ask everybody else in the chat. They're all massive fans of Alex, and it's a wonderful challenge, a wonderful channel. Is Boaty live every night? Asks Alex. Yes, I am. Unless I'm stuck at work or I'm really, really poorly, then yeah. Normally speaking, there is a live stream every single night of the week. I stayed awake, says Alex, to watch my channel tick over to 5,000 subscribers. I was so happy and excited. Well done, you. Congratulations. Yeah, 5K, quite a milestone. Hi, Alex, says Andrew. Yes, Boaty rises from the grave every night just for us mere mortals. I like that idea, rising from the grave. I mean, I don't rise from the grave. I come in my front door. I come home from work. That's why it's later on a Friday and Saturday, if anybody's wondering. I do the live streams as soon as I get home from work. So actually, tonight was quite comfortable because I got in at 18 minutes to 11. So I had 18 full minutes to prepare for this. I had a wee. So sometimes it's a bit nearer the knuckle. Sometimes I walk in at 3 minutes to 11, and I've got 3 minutes to get ready for a live. And I stay later at work on a Friday and a Saturday, and that's why the live streams are half an hour later. But yeah, every single night, I want to really punish you good people. Make you suffer on a nightly basis. And you get the odd video as well, which are no better than the live streams. I apologize for today's video, darlings. I do apologize for today's video because it's not a video at all, is it? Didn't film anything. Just didn't film anything at all. It wasn't. It just wasn't that kind of night. It was a chill out, enjoy yourself, me time kind of night. I mean, I did the live stream, obviously. But yeah, there was nothing there to film. So today's video was a bit of a nonsense, wasn't it? But there you go. I hope you forgive me. I shoved some music onto it. So at least you had some form of entertainment, because otherwise, what did you get? You got the view of Colwyn Bay, except you didn't really get it. You got me describing it to you. You got me parking on the promenade, going to the shop, and not much of that. You got a glimpse of my dinner, um, and that was that, wasn't it, for the night? And then you saw me in the sea yesterday morning, except you didn't really because I didn't have a tripod or anything, and I didn't want to risk dropping my camera in. So you only got me on the edge of the sea. You didn't actually see me going in. Oh, you got a couple of seconds of a coffee being made, and then that was it. You got a bit of the drive home. So I thought I'd slap some music on it. And that music was genuine, by the way. That wasn't overlaid. That was actually the music that I was listening to in the car. And it's the sound of the music coming through the car's onboard gramophone. It wasn't slapped in on top. So yeah, I apologise that I went all the way to Llandudno, and that's all you got out of it. Bit pants, really, wasn't it? But you could always watch the one from 2 weeks ago, which was a less awful video, and you saw a bit more of the hotel and the swimming pool and all of that. Or you could watch the one from 5 weeks ago, where I was again in Llandudno, but the Grand, of course. Now then, we were congratulating Alex, weren't we? Wet and warmer, says Jim Bob. Yes, indeed. Wet and warmer. Lots of congratulations heading towards Alex. Is the candle scented? I think it is. I think it is. Does it say on it? I've got a very poor sense of smell because my sinuses are buggered up in a number of interesting ways. I've had my nose broken very badly, more times than I care to remember. Yeah. Yes. How have I had my nose broken? I've had my nose broken so many times. I had my nose broken playing rugby. I had my nose broken boxing. The worst time I had my nose broken, I was in Top Cat's nightclub in Redditch, and there was a guy called Scott Hadabora, interesting name, and he was one of the few people that are as tall as me. Certainly back in those days, very few people were as tall as me. I'm 6'5", and I can't remember what it was over. But we did a sort of squaring off thing, but only in fun. He was a friend of mine. He was a friend, and we're both a bit drunk, and we did a daft squaring off thing, and you can tell that it was in fun because anybody who's ever done any kind of self-defense or boxing or even fighting on the cobble, street fighting, whatever, the first thing that you do if you're in a situation of confrontation with somebody, first thing you do, you turn sideways. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. First thing you do. And and with Scott, because we were just arsing about, we just fronted each other like that. I would never do that in a real situation. Never, ever, ever. First thing you do, you turn sideways and you get your length. So, well, no, don't be daft, pal. Don't be daft, pal. And you're just getting your length there so that you can, and you're sideways so that your wedding vegetables are protected. Anyway. But I fronted onto the guy, and we're just having this pretend thing, and he dropped the nut on me. I genuinely don't think he did it on purpose. We were both a little bit drunk. He probably didn't mean to drop the nut fully, and I was probably supposed to react and just get out of the way. But as I said, whatever it was, anyway, he dropped the nut on me, the great big lump of a guy. He was terribly apologetic, but oh God, made a right mess of my nose. But the thing was, I was with my pals. I was with Carl Longmuir and Ricky French and Paul and all of those guys. So they've looked at this. So, they just want to give Scott a right kicking. And I'm saying, no, it's all right, lads. It's all right. It's just blah, blah, blah. Um, but me and Carl, we'd pulled, or Carl had pulled, um, but she was with a friend and they lived together. That's right. She was with a friend and they lived together. And so it was both or none kind of thing. So Carl's kind of said, well, look, you're going to have the friend. Otherwise, I'm not. So we ended up going back to their place and spending the night at their place. I was still living at home at that point, and God Almighty. So, if you know Redditch, their place was in Moon's Moat. I remember that. I can't remember how we got there, whether we walked or got a taxi, and I can't remember much about the night. All I know is that I went home the following morning, and I must have looked in a right state because I'm suited. I've got a suit on. There's blood everywhere, and my nose is already weak. So I had it broken quite a few times, but my nose is just all over. And my mother took one look and went, "Oh." So I was dragged straight off to hospital, wasn't I? And the nose was properly banged about, uh, and they had to do a re-break and a reset. But of course, I've got MH, haven't I? So there was no anaesthetic involved, so they had to do a full re-break and reset with no anaesthetic. Now, when Scott dropped the nut the night before, I wasn't overly bothered about that because I'd had a drink and I didn't really feel anything. When they did the re-break on the nose, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, and I had a hangover as well. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, so my sense of smell isn't great. I've got a smashed up nose, I've got deviated septum, I've got lousy sinuses anyway, and I've got a nasal polyp that I've had since I was 15 years old. And again, because I've got MH, that's never been removed. So that was a long answer to a short question. Is it a scented candle? Any day, John Lewis, and that writing is too small for me to read. I don't know. Oh, that's hot. It might be. I think it is. I think it is. Ow, bugger me. Oh, oh, Ian Hully. Ian Hully. Oh, we've not seen you for a while. Good evening, everyone. Not been in for a bit. Could do with being cheered up. Any takers? We'll do our best, Ian, and lovely to see you back. Um, Oh, Mystic Hair is with us and says, evening, Boaty. Skick asks, do you keep a diary or notebook to keep and record your days? I do. I don't, Skick. I do this. I do a live stream and a daily diary most days. I don't keep any kind of a notebook or anything like that. I have done in the past when I used to keep a diary as a kid, as I think a lot of kids did back then. I kept a very exact training diary when throughout all of my athletic career. I kept a very, very detailed training diary, and that would detail absolutely everything. That would start the first thing in the diary every day would be my resting pulse. That was so ingrained into habit that when I woke up, before I even opened my eyes, I took my pulse. Um, I might have had to open my eyes to check on the clock or whatever to get the. Well, you don't do it. You don't do it for a minute, do you? You do it for 10 seconds and multiply by 6, or 20 seconds and multiply by 3. But I wanted to get my genuine, as close to my genuine resting pulse as possible. Um, so, I wanted to do my pulse before I got up, before I started moving about, a genuine resting pulse, because that is a very, very good. There are two really good indications of your level of fitness. Um, this might be out of date information, but this is how we understood it back then. The one was your resting pulse rate, and the other was how long it took for your for your pulse. If you accelerated your pulse to your maximum pulse rate, how long did it take for it to return from that to normal? And that was the real indication of fitness. Now, when throughout my peak of my career, my resting pulse was 36 beats per minute, which is pretty low. And I can't remember the time that I think I think max pulse back then was 230, and I can't remember the time that it took to get from 230 back down to like sort of 45, something like that. But it was really quick. I mean, it was, God, I think it was like, oh, I honestly can't remember. I think it was about around 60, 70 seconds, something ridiculous like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know it was very, very quick. Now then. Oh, lots and lots of hellos going on, which is lovely. Steve McDonald has joined us. Good evening, Boaty. A very good evening to you. And he says good evening to everyone as well. The M11 goes through Hertfordshire, I believe, says Steve. Quite possibly. Um, duh, duh, duh. Standards are slipping, not even standing up properly, says Diane. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm a bit knackered, darlings. It's a bit weird when you like, obviously the idea is restaurant is closed on Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights are your really busy nights. They're your late nights, whatnot. So on Monday you're going to be knackered. So the idea is that you have a rest. Excuse me. You have your rest day on Monday, but if you make the most of a Monday, like I've been doing this year, and you bugger off to Llandudno and you have a very late night in a hotel and you drive hundreds of miles and you go for a swim in the sea and all of that sort of thing, then you don't get that rest. And then on Tuesday, you've got to drive home and it's another long drive and you've had a really early morning. You probably only had a few hours sleep that night and you get home and then you just get changed, you go straight to work and then you come home and do a live stream. That means that come Wednesday, today, you are really knackered. So guess what? Today I'm really knackered. I didn't get a sleep in. I talk about this on the video. My body clock is obviously changing. Now, ideally today, I would have slept in until 11 o'clock. I would have woken up. I would have needed a pee at some point. But then I'd have gone back to bed, gone back to sleep, and got up at 11 o'clock. That would have done me the world of good. For the past, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was up at 7 o'clock or before. Today, I desperately tried to stay in bed. I woke up at, I don't know, I woke up about 6:30, something like that. Tried to go back to sleep. I dozed a bit. I ended up getting up at 9 o'clock. So haven't really caught up with the sleep that I should have. So yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't stand up, but I'm a bit weary. I'm a bit weary, but it's all good. It's all good. I'd rather be tired but happy than not tired but bored. Is Emma not doing YouTube now? Asked Skick. She's got lots of videos up, I think, Skick. Yeah, I think she's doing loads of YouTube at the moment. There are videos popping up left, right, and centre, aren't there? Ah, welcome to the Hotel Boatifonia. You can check out anytime you leave, but anytime you like, but you can never leave. I'm still on YouTube. Skick says the M11. Yeah, and very active on YouTube. And subscriber count increasing, views increasing. Um, partially monetized now, so channel members, and no doubt there's channel member only content. Oh, I'm not a channel member. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'll sort that out. I'll sort that out. We should all be channel members of each other's channels, shouldn't we? Unless it's the channel membership is really expensive. I mean, but if they've got a 99p membership tier, then we should support them by being a channel member. Emma, how much is your cheapest membership? Uh, oh, you've changed the candle, says Mystic Hair. Yeah, well, the other candle was buggered, wasn't it? That's a big flame there. Yeah, it's brand new. That is a brand new candle. When Boaty says Emma Lemon, I thought he was saying M11, says Alex. I was. That's what I call her, the M11. Or Emmels, or, I have pet names for people, especially the M11, because she's an especially good chum, as people will know who watched all of our adventures last year. And there will be many more to come this year, I am sure. Which reminds me, M11. I've got something very secret that only you can know about. Remind me to tell you after the live stream. Oh, I suppose I could put it on MHM actually. Yeah, be okay for Matron and Mustard. Where were we? Yep. Alex, yes, very irritatingly, he always calls me that. You've never told me you were. You never told me you were irritated by it. Nick joins us and says, "Hi Emma, it's nice to meet you." Uh, Boaty seems to keep no food in that fridge, says Alex. There's food in there. There's food in there. There is, right. There is, that there is garlic and mustard marinated supreme chicken. That there is tandoori chicken, roasted, cooked on a sheet in a clay oven. There's rice, roti, tomatoes, chilies, Himalayan chilies, the proper ones, red onion, loads of potatoes. There are 3 of them, but there are more in there. And ham. See, loads of food. That would keep a family of 6 alive for. Oh, and there are eggs. And there is vegan buttery spread. And there's some marmalade in there as well. What more do you want? What more do you want? Boaty gave up eating as his New Year's resolution. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't do any New Year's resolutions. I have made some changes to my life this year, but they came after my birthday. So we are 5 weeks into my slightly changed lifestyle. It's not that much changed. All it involved was moving about a bit more, walking up hills, walking around villages and things, stuff like that. Throwing myself into the sea every now and then. Um, Cutting out a lot of meat and taking on a lot more vegetarian and vegan meals, but not cutting out meat completely. What else? Oh, going completely dairy free, stopping smoking, and that's about it. And that's about it. But I haven't given up eating, and I certainly haven't given up drinking. Oh, smaller lunches. That was the other thing, wasn't it? Smaller lunches. And yeah, moving away from the meat thing. And I have to say, it's going. I think it's going quite well. I don't know if I've made a big thing about it or not, but I'm really quite happy with it. I didn't say I was going to do this, that, or the other. I didn't say it was going to be forever, but I've lost quite a considerable amount of weight. I feel healthier. I feel better. My mind is easier for having completely moved away from the dairy because I won't bang on about it, but dairy is cruel. Um, and yeah, that's, yeah. Oh, and it's nice not to stink of fags anymore. Um, but yeah, nothing massive. Certainly not giving up eating, but I do feel better for it. And I am still doing that thing where I lie in bed every morning and I feel myself. And I love feeling that there is less of me there. And it's genuinely motivating me to keep going. I love that because I lost it for a while. I got so fat, and I lost that feeling of tautness. When you lie back and you stretch, your skin should feel taut over your abdomen because you're stretching it. But if you're as fat as I was, you don't get that. You've just got a big fat belly there. So that's good, and I love the fact that I'm a bit more energetic and that I can do the proper full on quick walk. That yeah. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. We love your verbal intercourse every evening. Well, you're very kind, Mister Care. Do tell me about your food, darlings, if you'd care to. For lunch today, I had Momo and chutney, didn't I? I had a treat lunch, um, but I'm back to a default lunch tomorrow, which will be beans on toast, the best bread that I can find with the least crap in it, vegan plant-based bread and baked beans. Basically, it's a really good lunch. You'd have to. I mean, it's cheap, it's reasonably healthy. Go for the reduced salt and sugar beans, all of that sort of thing, and it's bang on. And supper tonight will come as no surprise to you because my suppers haven't changed, and my supper is it's staff curry. That's what I eat. I eat it every night, darlings. It's incredibly healthy, and it is just the tastiest thing that you will ever stick into your gob. Losing weight is he for gay March? Asks Alex. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Gay March not happening. Sorry. Hate to disappoint you. I like the video, says Diane Sturdy. Good music accompanied by music. Right. Plenty of Mr. Boaty's pottering lube hidden in the cupboard, though, Alex. Mr. Boaty's pottering lube is actually it's actually in the drawer of the bedside cabinet. If you want to know the truth, it's in the top right. So if you imagine my bed, and I'm sure you've all seen my bed, although perhaps not in real life, although some of you have. Then my bedside cabinet on my side of the bed, the top drawer, that's where all of the accoutrements are kept. So I haven't looked in there. Well, God knows. So yeah, the pottering lube will be in there. The handcuffs will be in there. Well, we don't need to go into everything that's in that drawer, do we? You don't get a racing snake figure by eating food, says Peter P. Everything in never going dry, says Mr. K. Everything in moderation. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about. You don't get lube on hubnut, says Richard. You don't. Boat would make a great Bob. Bob and Rita, Sue and Bob too. I've got no idea what that is. I've got no idea what that is. Nick is asking Emma how old she is, and Emma is telling Nick that she is ancient. She isn't. Oh, and we've got voice notes. Marvellous. Jim Bob is with us. Lovely Jim Bob. Jim Bob was driving from a hospital today. Appointment with, a hospital, right. Awful weather, water everywhere, visibility horrible, evening. A very lovely mummy is our Em, says Andrew, and she is indeed. And Emma is now asking Nick how old we is. Gosh, we're watching some flirtation going on in real time. Shall we enjoy these voice notes, darlings? I feel that we probably should. And they've been pinged through onto the community portable electric telephonic device via the medium of WhatsApp. Now then, darlings, the next voice that you hear will be from the Leisure Peninsula. Oh.
Yes, did notice you did a second live stream on Monday night. I haven't found it today, sir.
Oh.
Anyway, also, head shock of truth. How long have you and Catalan been dating for, or you just anniversary, sir? Because if you are, sir, you make a lovely couple. And also, head shock of truth. When are you hoping to see her next, sir? And how was work? Today I went to McDonald's, and tonight I had steak, potatoes and peas, followed by treacle sponge, custard and a posh coffee, sir. I also went for a quick run down to Chester today, sir.
Oh, I love
Anyway, thank you very much. Look forward to watching the live stream tonight, sir. I notice Emma's doing well these days.
Oh, she is.
And how is the Peugeot these days, the new one, sir, the latest one you bought? Are you finding it still running fine and still good on fuel, sir? Or have you had any problems with it yet, sir? Yeah, that's where he keeps the dildo that was bought for him.
It's not. It's
still
really
don't know
not.
if it's in his packet, though, do we?
That's somewhere in the front parlour. Right. What were all of those questions? Let me try and remember them. What was the anniversary thing about? The anniversary thing was the 5. It was the 5-week anniversary of the first meeting. How long have we been dating for? Was that the question? We're not dating. We are not dating. We are developing a lovely friendship, and what the future holds, who knows? Can't remember the rest of it now. What was the rest of it? As for the how long thing, well, I mean, the first time we met was 5 weeks ago, on my birthday in Llandudno. But we had been talking, for quite a while before that, but we hadn't actually met. So yeah, the anniversary thing was a little bit of a joke. It was the 5-week anniversary of our meeting, and yeah, there was a little gift in there, and that was a little joke as well. But it was kind of a private joke that I can't really tell you about. What was the rest of it? How's Mimi LeBlanc doing? The new Peugeot, absolutely great. I love her, and I've been neglecting Officer Crabtree and Yvette Carte Blanche, well, and Mingebag, of course. And tomorrow I'm going to rectify that because I've just been concentrating on Mimi. She's amazing. What an amazing vehicle. Kind of just does everything that you need, and in comfort. Any problems with it? She's still wonderfully economical. There's still that nasty bang coming from underneath that sounds a bit drop-linky, which needs to be sorted, but that's been there from the day that I got her. Other than that, no, she's fantastic. I love everything about her. She's got an air-conditioned glove box, for God's sake. Uh, what I'm thinking about doing with her now, I don't think that all cars suit add-on aftermarket wind deflectors, but I think she really will. So I'm thinking about giving her a set of wind deflectors. They're available on eBay, 50 quid, well, £49.96, I think, for a set of four. And I think they would really suit her. But I just adore her. I absolutely adore her. Um, but I also adore Crabtree and Mingebag and Yvette Carte Blanche, of course. So I need to share my love and attention amongst them all equally. Again, I talked about this in today's daily diary video. Um, so yeah, yeah. But Mimi is amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm still besotted with her. She's so brilliant in so many ways. Now then, where did we get to in the comments? Skick, skick. Right, skick, and anybody else who cares to listen. Um, I share a lot of stuff with you guys, and I give you guys insight into pretty much every single area of my life. There are some things that people who watch me on YouTube are just not going to know, because even a hideously inappropriately um what's the word? Oh, I can't remember the word. I've got a mental block on the word now. Um, indiscreet. Even a hideously indiscreet person like myself who comes on YouTube and talks about their life on a daily basis, even I have got an element of a private life, and not everything is going to make it out there. Now, if you know me in real life, then yeah, you're going to know more than you're ever going to find out on a video or on a live stream. Um, but that, some things are always going to be private. So there will be some things that I won't hide anything from you entirely, but there are going to be some things where you're just not going to know the full details because they're private, and you don't need to know, kind of thing. So yeah, skick. That's don't assume that you know the whole story. Uh, duh, duh, duh. Jimmy Quinn says 10 out of 10 Boaty for turning sideways. First thing a doorman learns. It's the first thing you learn in anything of that nature. Um, and Jimmy knows, Jimmy's worked the doors, and it's absolutely the first thing that you do. It's also, weirdly, it's a sign of respect that if somebody turns sideways to you, then they acknowledge that they feel that you're a threat. But it is, if you ever get somebody who's being confrontational or being an arse, and they come in all like that, square onto you, they're dead easy to deal with because they're just there. They're there. Everything is vulnerable, and Jimmy's dead right. First thing you do, first sign that there's going to be confrontation, you turn sideways and you get your length. So it's just that, no, pal, don't be daft. Just get them in the shoulder, don't be daft. But as long as you've got that, you've got the length then. So you can either keep them away, or if you're going to throw a shot, then you know where your length is. But yeah, never stand square on. You're just asking for a bloody knee in the ghoulies. Oh dear. Oh, now we're discussing broken noses. What's MH, says Shelley Denise? Malignant hyperpyrexia. Um, and it's a condition that means that you can't have, well, it's a condition that means many things, but it means that you can't have an anesthetic, or at least you can't have an anesthetic without uh, it might be different now, but oh, okay. For those who don't know the MH thing, very quickly, there there always used to be a risk associated with anaesthetics, and occasionally people would have a bad reaction to an anaesthetic and get brain damage or die or whatever. And it was always just one of those things. There can always be a bad reaction to an anaesthetic. And in the 70s, this was being researched by a guy called Professor Ellis, who was based at a clinic in Switzerland. And he was the guy who discovered this condition called malignant hyperpyrexia, which is basically a reaction to certain agents, which basically means that you react badly to a thing, and your temperature just increases and increases until your heart gives out and you die. And one of the trigger agents, or one or more, are those that are contained in both local and general anesthetics. So this was being kind of discovered in the, or researched in the late 1970s. Now, my brother Mark, Mark with a C, rather than a K. When he was 13, he underwent a tonsillectomy. Um, he was older than me. He was my hero. I adored Mark. Uh, so I was 4 when this happened, and Mark underwent a tonsillectomy, and he had a bad reaction to it, and he managed to live for about 2 days, suffering incredibly, and they couldn't manage his temperature, and eventually his poor little 13-year-old heart gave out, and he died. Bless him. And my parents received a letter saying, from the hospital, saying, "Look, we're terribly sorry about this. There is a risk with anesthetics, and we can't really explain this to you." And then there was a series of amazing coincidences. Um, the the surgeon who operated on Mark, on the tonsillectomy, he was at a conference, and one of the speakers at the conference was Professor Ellis, talking about this research being done into this condition that they'd begun to call MH. And the surgeon collared him afterwards and said, "Look, I've had a case recently that really upset me, whatever." Uh, and Professor Ellis said, "Yeah, that sounds like it could be a." So there was, Mark was I don't know the exact details. I don't want to think about it. I don't know if he was exhumed or whatever, but there was a further post mortem thingy, and my brother Mark with a C became the first officially recorded death due to MH. Now, during the research, they discovered that MH was hereditary, and that there was a 50-50% chance of it being passed on from parent to child. And they also discovered that it varied in positivity, so that you could have a very light reaction, or you could be, very prone or not so prone. and they decided that I was going to be the guinea pig for a biopsy to discover if I had MH and to what degree, to what extent. And I look back now, and that must have been terrifying for my mother. She'd just lost a child due to having an operation and an anesthetic. And now she's being told that one of her other children is also going to be subject to. I mean, God, I mean, okay, mum was a nurse. Well, she was a matron. So, she would have been aware of the medical, but on a parental level, that must have been horrendous. So, at the age of 4, I was taken somewhere. Honestly, can't remember when. This is another part of my childhood that's totally blocked out. No memories of it. I assume it was Switzerland, and I was operated on, and I understand that there was intravenous cooling for days afterwards, and that it was done on a bed of ice and all of that. And basically, what they did, I don't understand the ins and outs of this, but they took, oh, pardon me, can't see it. They took a massive chunk of my leg out from there to about there. So if you ever see me without my trousers on, and some of you have, you'll see that there's a massive scar there. It looks, and it doesn't look like an operation scar. It looks as if I've been in a really bad car accident. I don't know what the hell they did. The scar is horrendous. The wound was horrendous. They just chopped a big chunk out of my leg. I don't know why. Um, and I was in a wheelchair for a year, I think. I think I'm right in saying that. And I've got no memories of that. I've hardly got any memories of childhood at all because for various reasons, long-term viewers, you know that a lot of it I've had to block out for the sake of my emotional well-being. And I don't remember any of that. I know they left a ridiculous wound, and it was held with. They tried to repair it with clips, these massive metal clips, and they were huge. And they were trying to clip my leg back together, and they didn't work very well. And they left. I only know this from what my parents told me. Um, and they left because they weren't healing properly. They left them in for too long, and the skin grew all around them and whatnot. And then they couldn't give me an anaesthetic to remove them. So I've got a leg, an inner thigh here, that was held together with a large number of these metal clips, and at some point I had to remove them, and they were grown into my legs, they were grown into my body, and they couldn't give me an anesthetic. So, um, and again, this is not from memory, it's from what I've been told. They had to have a team of people. I was 4 years old. 4 years old. I've lost my brother. I don't understand what death is. I'm going through the most incredible trauma. Somebody must have told me that death is like going to sleep and not waking up. Again, that's an assumption because for, oh, I was going to say for years, but I mean for years, for like 30, 40 years, I couldn't go to sleep because I didn't want to not wake up like Mark. Um, and as a grown man, I had to sleep with the light on. And that happened until way too late in life. And we're talking about in my 30s. In my 30s, I still I couldn't go to sleep in the dark. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So anyway, so there I am, 4 years old, with all of these clips holding my leg together. And they had to get a team of me to hold me down while they wrenched these metal clips out. Again, I've got zero memory. My mother kept the clips in an envelope. Um, and yeah, they had to hold me down, rip these things out. Of course, I'm screaming like I'm being killed. My father, and again, long term viewers, you know what my dad's like. My father couldn't cope with that. He couldn't cope with that. And the only thing he knew in extremis was to injure people. So my father started knocking everybody out left, left right, and centre. Because as far as he's concerned, all they're doing is they're torturing his son, and he can't deal with this. So by all accounts, it got quite chaotic. But there you go, there you go. The clips did come out. I got a book called the Little Book of Fireside Tales. Uh, I had two. There was a red one and a yellow one. I don't remember them from the time, but I kept them. So I think my childhood memory kicks in at about the age of 8 or 9. I can't really remember anything before then at all. Um, but I had these books, and in my mum's writing on the inner page was for being a good boy during the operation, and the other one, I can't remember which was which, whether the red or yellow one was first, and the other one was for being a good boy while having his clips out. So there you go. The clips came out eventually. I was highly positive to MH. I had MH, and I was highly positive to it. And so that was that. I had to wear, I had to carry a card. I had to wear a thing around my neck, around my wrist, and it basically meant that I couldn't have an anaesthetic because things will be different now. But back then, if I had an anaesthetic in Britain, then it was something that I can't remember that, but there was a very high probability I wouldn't survive it. And even if I did survive, there would be a very high probability of brain injury. So basically, the situation was that we're not going to operate on you unless it's life or death. We're not going to operate on you. So there were lots of things that I should have had done that I couldn't have done because they wouldn't operate. And again, looking back, I must have scared my parents to death because, did I live a safe life? No. I was a bloody racing cyclist, whizzing down alpine passes in Spain, Italy, bloody France, at God knows what speeds. And, anything good. How I'm alive is basically beyond me. Uh, where do we get to? Gosh, look at the time. Let's whiz through these comments. Oh, Emma, you remembered that? I believe a posh BJ is called a jelly bean treat. That's my thing. That's my thing. Jelly bean treat. Yeah, yeah. I can't believe you remembered that. Yeah, that is my name for one of those, a jelly bean treat. I won't tell you the story behind why it's called that, but it is, and it has been since since I started getting them, which is a long time ago now. Oh, blimey. Nettie B. Nettie B actually knew what it was. Blimey. My cheapest membership, says the M11. Oh, apparently that annoys her. My cheapest membership, says Emma, is just 99p. I've done members only live streams, which were quite nice and intimate. Well, there you are. At 99p, we should all become, what is it? Oh, it's a Lemon Club member. Oh, there we are. Oh, a secret for me? How exciting, says Emma. I shall wait with basted breasts. Oh, and Diane says, us members of Emma's channel have had live streams. I see everything is hidden in clear containers, says Alex. Yeah, well, keep it tidy. Should tomato be in the fridge? Genuine question, says Jim Bob. No, tomatoes should not be kept in the fridge. It impairs their flavour. Tomatoes should be kept ambient at room temperature. And I know all of that, and yet I still keep mine in the fridge. Why do I do that? Okay, I do that because I know that it impairs their flavour slightly, but they go in my curry, so I don't mind. And it makes them last longer. And that's the main thing, because when you're a single man living alone, anything salady is a problem. Because the problem is, can you get it eaten before it goes out of date? Now, something that you buy individually or a small portion of, no problem. But, you have to buy a whole lettuce, you have to buy a whole cucumber. And if there's only one of you eating it, and you're not going to eat it with every meal, there's going to be the possibility of wastage. So I do put my tomatoes in the fridge, but you shouldn't do it. Eggs and tomatoes, not in the fridge. Keep them outside at room temperature. Family-sized fridge for a confirmed bachelor, says Stu. Yeah, well, no, it's not quite like that. I've got two fridge freezers. I've got that one there that you can see, and that one there that you can't. And I used to only have that one there, which is a half-size fridge freezer. And I never used to have this one here. No need for it. But when Chinese Madam moved in, we needed a family-sized fridge freezer because we were a couple, and she liked food and she cooked and she liked lots of ingredients. So this fridge freezer was bought when I was not a confirmed bachelor. It was bought when I was living with Chinese Madam, and it's there now. So I use that one is the wine fridge and the curry freezer, and then this one is just the general fridge and fridge freezer. Well done with the smoking. Thank you, Alex. And I'm going to whisk through these. Boaty needs to move the candle over as the reflection is on his face. Oh God, yeah, the green dot sniper thing. Yeah, it won't last for long, about a week or so, and then the candle will go down. He can't move the candle. OCD, correct. Need to top up the vino. Well, no doubt I did that. I think cutting down on meat is a very good idea, says Emma. Only recently found out just how unhealthy it is. I just feel better for not eating meat slavishly with every meal. I'm eating quite a lot of vegetarian and vegan food now. And it's suiting me and I'm enjoying it. But I have not cut out meat entirely. On Monday night, I ate a meal with a vegan friend of mine, and I ate a burger. And it was a brilliant burger. Oh my God. What a great burger that was. The sweetness in the tomatoes increases out of the fridge, says Diane. Hence, I store it in fridge and take out for a while before using. Yeah, you can do that. And same with eggs. Same with eggs. We're proud of you, Boaty, says Shelley. Oh, bless you. Um, is that woman still stalking you? Asked Steve Cole. Yes, she. Well, yeah, she is actually. Yes. Um, Boaty needs to watch Rita, Sue, and Bob too. He would love it. Right, let's pound the box and then let's whiz through the comments and let's bugger off to bed, shall we? It's that kind of time, isn't it? So here we are, darlings. One box, one of the King's Pounds. In we pop. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Done. Oh, for those who don't know, this is Sean's box. It gets a daily pounding off me. And this is basically my birthday jolly fund. We started doing this in last year, 2024, when my lovely Shawnee was kind of. Oh, it was when I bought the telephone table, wasn't it? Some point in summer. Oh, front parlour reference. You'll have to have a look. And my lovely Shawnee sent me this beautiful Puthcall telephone box. And we decided that Sean's box should get pounded every night. So basically, I put a pound in it every night. And then I take all of the money out just before my birthday and use the money to have a lovely birthday treat. So, um, so yeah, this year, it wasn't a full year. I think it was about half a year's worth of a pound a day plus the odd few extras, some from me, some from you lovely people. Um, and yeah, the money paid for my birthday jolly, which was, what did we do on my birthday? Well, I went to the Grand Hotel in Llandudno, uh, blagged a premier room. I had dinner at the Ormo Lounge, um, and yeah, and had breakfast at the Ormo Lounge as well, actually. And yeah, this little box paid for all of it. And this little box will pay for my birthday treat next year, whatever it happens to be. Ah. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. And good evening, Mark. Josh is glad to be here, and we're glad to have you, even though we are about to say goodnight. Uh, Debbie Daydream with us, just finished work. Good evening, jolly good evening to you. Can't beat a French car, better than some others, says Jim Bob. God, I really am going to have to whiz through these, aren't I? That's how it should be, says Emma. Nobody should expect to know everything about a YouTuber. Everybody is entitled to a private life. I don't keep anything totally private from you guys. Um, I will always give you a hint, and if you know me in real life, I'll give you more than that. But yeah, some things are just private. She did, Richard. Yeah, she did. Yeah, when am I getting that no holds barred interview? I wanted to do that interview. Skick wanted to interview me, and I'm totally up for it. I was up for it at the time, and I'm still up for it now. Boaty, kick them hard side of the knee, broken knee, end of argument. Yeah. Geez, that's tragic about your brother. Happens. Happens. Sorry to hear about your bro. Yeah. Life can be tough and cruel. It can. Oh, Stu, blimey. Oh, Alan Simpson, the lovely Alan, one of my favourite people. Sorry, I'm just whizzing through these because